from around the country, to have them show you how they do one thing typically in their garage to customize a motorcycle. We hope to entertain, inspire, and more than anything, encourage you, no matter what you're riding, whether it's a dirt bike, a BMW, a Honda, a Harley, whatever it is, to go back and do something to make it uniquely yours, to customize it, because that's what we're into. Again, I'm Pat Jenson, Sin Central Garage from Iowa, and today we've got Skully from Skully Cycles. Skully, how's it going, man?
Good. How you doing, Pat?
Oh, it's great to be here with you today. Now, Skully, where is your shop?
We're in Racine, Wisconsin, and what we do is mainly air ride suspension, handlebars, center stands. We build bikes, we do one-offs, stuff like that, but our mainstay is going to the shows, 20 to 25 rallies a year, installing these three things on all the bikes, and we do it right there while you're waiting. You ain't gotta leave your bike for hours and hours, leave it for a week, or people just order it online. They'll call us, ask us, hey, how I do this. They watch a couple videos.
That's Skully's.com?
SkullyCustoms.com.
SkullyCustoms.com, and your Facebook is Skully's Customs?
Skully Custom Air Ride Suspension.
Skully Custom Air Ride Suspension. All right. Well, Skully, we don't have much time because I wasted a lot of time trying to get a mouse to work in the back. Not a real mouse, like a computer mouse. The real mouse was working, the fake one wouldn't. So you're going to install on this motorcycle some air ride suspension today. What bike are you doing that on?
This is a 2014 regular straight up Ultra. Basically it's stock besides motor, but any newer bike, our air ride works from 1980 up to 2018.
All right. Right on. Well, let's get on it, man. Show me how to do it.
So first thing you're going to do is make sure the bike is stable on a jack, on a lift. You can do it with just a floor jack. You don't need anything elaborate. You're going to take the bags off. We're going to take the side cover.
Steve, you're supposed to be over here helping, man. What the? Gee
You're going to take the seat off.
You're going to need a screwdriver, Steve. Why don't I just stay up here with you, Skully? This guy. It's better than the fat kid Rock, but I don't even know where he went.
So once you get the side covers, the saddlebags off, you're going to see your suspension. Nothing's really too intimidating, but you know, just kind of look at where everything is, kind of get a visual picture so you can put it back together. Once we get the side covers off, we're going to take and jack the bike up just enough so the tire is a little bit off the ground or touching the ground, so there's no spring tension. You're going to take the shocks off. And when Steve gets it jacked up here.
We want to thank Progressive Motorcycle Insurance for having us here at Ohio Bike Week 2. We are Grease and Gears Garage again, and we are brought to you at Ohio Bike Week by Progressive Motorcycle Insurance and their partners Indian Motorcycles and Castrol Oil.
So once we get the shock off, the new shocks that you're going to get, whether you order them online, you come by our shop, pick them up, they're going to come looking like this. In the box, you're going to have a pump, a bracket. You're going to have a small Ziploc bag with some small parts in it, a toggle switch, or a handlebar switch, depending on how you ordered it. The shocks are right and left. So if you put them on the wrong way, they'll not work correctly, and you'll figure it out real quick. Basically, you want to put the shock so the nipple is facing forward and towards the bike.
He said nipple. I heard him. It's okay. We're all adults here, and we all have them.
So we got the stock shock from Harley Davidson off.
I need you at my shop, Steve.
Here's the air
That's
ride.
handy to have around.
Just you're going to use your old washers. You're going to get some new hardware in the bolt or in the bag. These are all grade 8. I don't know who put the last bolts in your bike, so we always send you with new bolts and hardwares.
We can put the lift up in the air because we have an air compressor. Would that be better, Steve?
Hell yeah.
That poor guy. Aaron, why don't you stay on your knees? Thing just kept going. Is that better, Steve? That's awesome.
There you go. So we're going to put the shocks on, And they go on just the same way you took them off, 2 bolts, nothing difficult. If you can basically turn a wrench, you can do this install. There's 4 air lines and 3 wires. So we're gonna put the shock on. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna assemble your pump and bracket. So you're gonna have a black bracket. This will work on any bike from 1980 to 2018.
Does that bracket have to be black?
It comes black.
I was just kidding. Okay, go ahead.
So you're going to assemble this, couple nuts and bolts, use blue Loctite on everything. That way, nothing's going to vibrate off. You don't have to over tighten anything.
Now you've already run these wires back here?
Correct. You're going to be 3 wires that we're going to run on the bike. We're going to take the 2 top battery bolts off that hold the battery cover. There's going to be a red wire come off your battery, goes to a fuse. Everything is fused. And then you're going to have a toggle switch that gets mounted underneath here, right on the left side, or in one of your heat shield covers.
Oh, right on. Okay.
So 1/2-inch drill, something else that most people have in their garage.
So you just pulled those right off the fuse that's under there. All right.
Correct.
Cool.
All the motorcycles from 1980 on up use the same bracket to hold the exhaust on. So all we're going to do is remove the 2 bolts, take our bracket that we put together, slide it in between here.
Oh, look at that.
And then we're going to put the 2 bolts back in with a little bit of blue Loctite.
Did you design that?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty slick, Skully. Non-ABS. He said something about brakes.
Okay, now on some of the bikes you don't have ABS. So when you open up this side cover here, there's going to be just a black plastic box. So if that's the case, what you can do is take that pump, put it right in there, a couple zip screws, put it right in there. It keeps it out of the weather.
There you go. All right.
Easy to get to if you ever need to get
Weather's
to it.
not a problem with it.
Everything is lifetime warranty, and the compressor is sealed. So
Right.
it's not a problem to put it there, but like anything else, if you keep it out of the weather, it probably lasts forever.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same way. If you keep me out of the weather, that's why they put me in the shade. Shut up, Amelia. My daughter's here. She's 25. She's single. She's right over there. She's employed. She's getting her motorcycle license this year.
There's a small ground wire that's right here that you can put right on the bolt that holds your exhaust on, so you don't have to run that wire. Comes with the ring terminal and everything already mounted on it. Then we're going to put either a toggle switch or a handlebar switch. There's an option that you can order a handlebar switch, put it right up by where your clutch perch is. Looks something like this. So we're going to take 2 bolts off of the clutch perch, take half of the clutch perch off. This is going to replace that.
All right.
Then you got your up and down right by your left hand. Easy to control and adjust as you're going down the road. And this typically takes us about 45 minutes to an hour to do at a show or an install with 2 guys working on it. A guy in his garage, not drinking too many beers, probably 2 hours.
But like we always say, again, we're Grease and Gears Garage, and we travel around the country, and we just get builder friends of ours like Skully to come show one thing that they typically do. We're here by the grace of Progressive Motorcycle Insurance. They brought us in. But one of the things we always want to tell folks, when you're working on your bike, it's supposed to be, we want to encourage you to customize your bike so you develop more of a relationship with your bike so that you get to know it. If you start to get frustrated at any point in this process,
walk away. Just
walk away. Go do something else, I mean, you might maybe, and don't start a project knowing that you have a ride coming up or something, Start the project when you know you've got enough time and you can just have time to walk away. And not that it probably has never happened, but every once in a while, when you get parts, they'll leave something out. And so it might not be you. Take the time to call. Don't ask questions. Don't be so proud that you can't ask a question. I just installed some clutch plates on a 2005 Sportster for a guy, and I couldn't get the things adjusted. An hour-and-a-half job. I had 25 hours in. I took the clutch plates out of the box, soaked them, put them in the bike, wouldn't run. 25 hours. Pulled them out, put another set in I had on the shelf, worked perfect. Turns out, wrong clutch plates had been packaged. They were too thick, so they wouldn't work. So it's not always you either, so don't get frustrated. We don't want you to get frustrated.
A lot of people are not familiar with air ride. A couple things that they're going to ask me. The first thing they ask me is, why do I want air ride? Why am I going to do this to my bike? And the reason that most people do it is for ride comfort. If you're short, you want to lower the bike a little bit.
Sorry, man.
One thing that we can do by lowering the bike, on an Ultra, we'll lower it 3 inches. So now that we lowered it, we can bring the bike back up to stock, and now you have 3 inches of travel there that you didn't have before. So
well, and not everybody. Sometimes we ride solo. Sometimes we pack it for a trip. Sometimes we pick up a woman on the back of our bike. Sometimes we take our wives for rides, and so, you know,
right,
you can't tell.
And that is totally adjustable on the fly as you're going down the road.
Because your girlfriend and your wife might not weigh the same, so it's really very helpful.
You know what the difference between your girlfriend and your wife is, right?
What?
About 100 pounds.
You know how you can tell when your girlfriend's getting fat? She starts fitting in your wife's clothes. Ba-dum-bum. Should never say that. That's a bad joke. I don't mean it. All right, go ahead.
So once you get the shocks on, the pump on, the other side on, we're going to run a couple air lines. The kit comes with about 10 feet of air line, and all we're going to do is run a piece of air tube from the shock here up towards this area. There's plenty of line. You don't have to cut it exact. And you're going to just use a razor blade, cut it nice and square, slide the line in. Once you slide the line in, then you're going to go to the next spot. There's a couple T's that come in with the kit, and we're going to just put the T's together. All we're doing is connecting all 4 of the components.
Those just, and once you slide that in the fitting, it locks itself, correct?
Correct. They're a push-to-fit fitting that you've seen on a lot of different stuff. Even the stock Harleys have them.
Right.
The difference between ours is they're all metal. There's no plastic in them.
That's good.
They've come from the food automation industry where they're not allowed to leak.
Oh,
so
very
we've
good.
adapted them to work on this. They're kind of a pain to release, but they don't leak.
Well, that's
so
good.
Once
Yeah.
we put them in there, you have to take another screwdriver or something to push them in and pull them out.
Right
but
on.
They don't leak. So then we're going to have 4 components. You're going to have the compressor, your left shock, your right shock, and then a dump valve. So that way when we give 12 volts to the pump, the bike's going to go up. When we give 12 volts to the dump valve, it's going to open and just release the air out. So it's a very simple system, and our goal is to keep you on the road, not on the side of the road.
All
so
right.
with a basic system that's very simple, if you have an issue or problem, you can call me and say, hey man, this is going on. I can tell a guy, take a test light. Is this going on? Do you have a light here? Yep. Okay,
Yeah.
well let's look at this. Or, you know, I can hear the pump run and the air is going somewhere. Find a line, maybe it rubbed somewhere, you didn't put enough tie wraps on, stuff like that. We're going to lower the bike now, and we're going to show how to put the handlebar switch on. Steve's going to make a couple connections here, and then we're going to see if it works.
What I really like about particularly your kit, this air ride system, is if you sell your bike, you could move this to another bike.
Correct.
I mean, this is genius. This is like cheap horsepower with the turbos. You can put it back to stock, and so, I mean, I really like customization things that you can move from one bike to another. That's
right.
nice.
This kit here will work, like I said, from 1980 all the way up to 2018. There's a couple little things you might need a different bolt or a shoulder or something for a shock because they mount a little different. But this kit I can take off this 14, go to the dealer, I'm going to trade it in. I find another bike. The dealer's not going to want to give you, you know, what you paid full price for your air ride. Put the stock shocks on that they're sitting in your garage. Pull it off, put it in a box, take it apart neatly. You get your new bike. You get the same ride that you had before. You don't have to hope that maybe it got better.
There you go.
And you can use the system that you already paid for.
And I tell you, Skully and I both have shops, and we buy and sell bikes. We flip bikes, so this isn't really good advice for me to give you from us. But any accessories that you put on your bike that you think you're going to fit on the next one, go ahead and put your stock ones back on because you're not getting any money for those. They're just looking at actual cash value on your bike is just going to be on whatever the book tells them it is.
So what we did up here on the handlebar, Pat, there's a perch that holds on, obviously, your clutch and your brake. We took that half moon off.
Brilliant.
We put our switch on it. Now we can run a wire, goes underneath the tank.
It just replaced this.
Correct.
All right,
now
on.
we got a switch here to raise the bike up and down. We ran the wire underneath the tank. It comes out here. Again, we got 3 wires. We got a power wire that goes to a fuse, and it's separate from everything else, especially on the new bikes. That's important because if you blow a fuse, you don't want to blow your tail lights, a headlight, ignition fuse, something. If it ever fails, the only thing you lose is your air ride. Still drive home.
Yep.
So we're going to have 3 wires, one to just connect to power, one that goes to the pump, and one that goes to the dump valve. So it's not like, oh my God, what am I going to do here? You know?
And you're not going into, I mean, your wiring harness, you're not pulling this, you're not getting out a schematic chart or anything else. So.
And when you go to the dealer, he's never going to say to you, hey, whoever put this air ride in cut into a wire, and that's why your nav don't work, and guess what, buddy? That's not under warranty.
Exactly, yeah.
I've had dealers call me that thought that there was an issue, and I tell them, pull the fuse out for the air ride and do whatever diagnostic you want.
Yep.
Now we just disconnected my air ride from your whole motorcycle. So a couple safety features that we have built in is that the shocks only go down to 9 1/4. What that does for us is it keeps about 3/4 of an inch clearance between your tire and your fender.
Okay.
You're on a ride, you're going somewhere, something happens. It doesn't go up, it's stuck down. You're not on the side of the road with a fender in your tire, wrecking paint, worrying about wiring.
You just look all choloed out, riding as low as you can.
Yep, you're riding a rigid.
Yeah, you
rode
go.
a rigid before, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you
rigid
can
bagger.
get home, but you're
Yeah.
not on the side of the road
That's
talking
good.
to a cop, talking to somebody about your air ride being broke at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right on.
You're at home, it's in your garage tomorrow morning, you look at it, oh, I saw this wire connector came apart, or I did something that didn't route it right.
Right.
So you can put it right back, get back on the road, or you can call us. We do give a lifetime warranty on all our components. If it was something that, failed, I would send you out a part, help you diagnose it, send you a part. You put the new part on, then you send me the old one back.
Right on.
What we're going to do is we're going to hit the air ride up now. Basically what we're doing.
Well, no, you're not, because
No,
that
we're not.
hose wasn't connected. I noticed that earlier.
Yeah.
I know. Let me call. It's an 800 number.
Did you put
Call
the
the tech
airline
line.
on that side? You didn't do this one, Steve?
He said he's all done over here. He's waiting for you.
Yes.
My side's done.
So we're going to air the system up.
It's moving. Ether goes up like the price of milk.
So now we're totally extended up. This is 5 inches of travel. We're about 2 inches over stock on a Ultra. So that does 2 things for you. One, if you're a mountain rider, riding backcountry, anytime you can get your bike up a little higher, you can ride a little more aggressive. You don't have to worry about dragging your boards.
Right on.
Any of your accessories you put on your bike, everybody's got their buddy that goes around the corner. Looks cool.
Yeah.
But, if you just paid $200 for a nice set of boards, it don't look too cool.
I lost my left floorboard off Road King on the Dragon's Tail a few years ago.
So you can lift it up, and it does 2 things. One is you gain 2 inches on the front.
Yeah.
The other thing you gain is you can make this shock stiff, more like a sport ride. Usually when you're riding corners, canyons, they're very smooth roads because they're dangerous. They're not potholes. They're not, that kind of. So you really don't need a squishy or a soft suspension. You want
need to
something
stiffen
firm.
the sticks.
Right. So now you're going through the Dragon's Tail. You're riding in the mountains. Now you go back out to the freeway. You got 2 hours to drive home. On the freeway, all you have to do is take that high pressure out. See the bike move a little bit? We go right back to the soft ride that you're used to.
Right
Whether
on.
you got your wife on the back, a bunch of gear, you're loaded up for bear, you're just by yourself. You can adjust that where you can go down the road and you can see the brakes in the road, the clicks. Everybody's going down 20 miles of road going click, 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 click. You can adjust this where you'll see it, but you don't feel it.
Right.
And that's when you go, that's why I bought this air ride.
There you go. So this isn't really the kind of air ride that a lot of guys are installing on their bikes that you see where you're laying frame and that kind of stuff.
Actually, it is the same air ride. The difference is they're doing a lot of modifications to their bike. They're modifying their swing arm. This one, when it goes all the way down, the swing arm only lets you go so far.
This is actually a suspension system that you're
Correct.
given. This is so that you still have an appropriate suspension and a ride that's safe and comfortable and purposeful.
Right.
Okay.
On a lay frame, the guy that does the lay frame knows that he's going to take it off his trailer, bring it to a show. If he does ride it, he knows that either he has safety built into it, so the frame cannot go down to the ground, or he's done something in the modifications where he knows what's going on.
Right, and typically bikes that are built to lay frame also aren't built to ride aggressively. I mean, so
Right.
right on.
So from bottom to top, it's about 10, 12 seconds. I'm 220.
Ish.
And I ride my bike, I'm short, so I ride my bike as low as I can, but I want to have a nice soft ride. I have a broken back. I broke my bike in a bike accident back in '09, and the first thing I want to do is make a suspension so I could ride again. So I run it as low as I can, which is about an inch under stock, but I still have 2 inches of travel there, so I'm not beating myself up.
Right.
I didn't just put a set of lowering blocks on, change the angle on the shock, and now you're
Now
going
it's
down the
just
road.
banging your back. Yeah.
Right. So,
All right.
and it's adjustable on the fly. So the road conditions change. I stop, pick up my wife. We're going to go out for a drink. We decide, hey, we're going to go up north. We stop. We put 200 pounds of crap in our bags. My wife puts 300 pounds of shoes in there, and we go out on the road, and we can ride just as comfortable with 500 pounds on this bike as my son, who weighs 130. We can have
Right.
the exact same ride next to each other.
Nice.
So,
Well, man, I tell you what, that's a slick system, and it doesn't take long to install.
No.
Look at that.
And it's really not. I mean, it's so basic that if you read the instructions, like 20 different lines, and it tells a couple different ways you can do it if you don't have ABS module. If you have a 14 to 16, there's a spot up here we can put the compressor. Just a couple variations, but they all work the same once you kind of understand what you're doing. What we're going to do here for everybody at Grease and Gears is we're going to do a promo special. If they just put in the promo code Grease and Gears, they can get $100 off our retail system.
Wow. Okay.
So we normally sell the system for $5.99, about $35 shipping. So you're $634 shipped to your door. Put in Grease and Gears, you get $100 off. It'll get shipped out. I send everything priority mail. You'll get it in 2 to 3 days.
It's hard to buy just a standard set of shocks at that price, folks. So, man, well, we appreciate it. And, man, you got good timing. You got right there, right when they're getting ready to bring an acoustic guy up here to sing some songs. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank Progressive Motorcycle Insurance for bringing Grease and Gears Garage to Ohio Bike Week. Want to thank their partners, Castrol, Indian Motorcycles. Go see the fine folks at Progressive while you're here. They're around the corner up there with Flo's Chop Shop. They're giving away a 2018 Indian Scout. All you have to do is sign up, and they're going to give it away to somebody this year. So go try to win a brand new motorcycle. Those Indian Scouts are killer. I want one. The only way I'm going to get one is if I win one, I'm sure. So go check them out up there. Again, Progressive Motorcycle Insurance right around the corner at Flo's Chop Shop. We've had Skully with us from Skully's Custom Cycles.
And before we're leaving, everybody, we're set up at Mad River, Harley Davidson. We're doing installs there. If somebody just wants to come by and pick up a kit, you'll get that same great price, $4.99 for the kit. If you want it installed, we'll do a special there. It's $700 installed. Takes about an hour, hour and a half, depending on how many bikes we got to do. But we'll be there all the way through Monday. You can come by, see us, get some information, sit on the bike, and have it done right here. Watch us, or pick up a kit, go home and do it tonight at home, and ride it all weekend.
All right, if you folks want to see this install again, it's on Grease and Gears Garage YouTube channel. Go to the YouTube channel, Grease and Gears Garage. You can go to Cycle Source Magazine, where you'll also see this archived. And we want to make sure that we, again, thank Progressive Motorcycle Insurance for having us at Ohio Bike Week. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful rally, folks. Have some fun. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Skully.
All right, thank you.